Start with Justin.
Just overall thoughts on Kansas State, the test your team faces this week.
I think we're playing an excellent football team. They're really good in all three phases. They had a nice win on the road last weekend against Tulane. Good players, are extremely well coached. They play with real physicality. I got a lot of respect for these guys. Obviously, it's going to be a great game day atmosphere and kind of that venue. And so I think it's something that everyone's excited about. And we're also aware of the challenge ahead.
Jenna, then Michael.
Good to hear you wanted in a crowd noise during practice. How are you preparing this your first time playing the Big 12 game?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing you can do. The good news is that this team and these players do have experience playing in some tough venues. Over the last few years, playing at Oregon or Washington or Utah. Those places are all places that are really, really rowdy. So I think you got to lean on some of that, and then try and be smart with what you do in terms of how you huddle, how you communicate, and also like pumping in that crowd noise, just giving them just kind of the experience of working through that in the practice environment, because it's going to be there on game day.
Michael and Brian.
When you watched the film, what did you observe regarding some of the offensive line breakdowns, and what has been some of the discussion about maybe the communication up there?
I think there was some, like I mentioned the other night, there was some good stuff too done by that group. And we did have some new guys playing in there, right? Like Grayson had never played before, right? And he had to snap every ball. And that's a eye-opening experience. And so I give him a lot of credit. I thought he handled it really well. There was a couple simple mistakes there that we can clean up easily, which we've already gone to work on starting yesterday. And I think, hopefully as time goes, we'll get more and more healthy. And some of the people that are not available right now will come back to us and get in the mix. But, after watching the film, I think we were encouraged because there was some better stuff, that we were able to get done than we realized in game.
Brian and David.
With the shorter week, what do you have to cut out as far as preparation? And when it comes to guys that have been hurt, what's the cutoff time during the week where you're like, they're going to be available or not?
I would say the injury thing, those are always decisions made by our medical staff, not by me. And so if they tell me so-and-so can go, then so-and-so can go. Coaches don't ever make those decisions. Those are all medical people, doctors and trainers. And then in terms of the practice environment, we kind of essentially lost Monday, but so this is a Tuesday practice. And so that's the only difference in terms of, so there's not a huge difference that way. I think just the biggest difference will be that we're going on the road and playing an excellent team. And then we haven't done that yet this year.
David and Jason.
Brent, what's the latest on Jacory's status going into this week?
It's where it was when I talked to you guys Saturday night.
And in terms of you changed punters this past weekend as well, what went into giving Forbes more of an opportunity, and what did you see from him? And then what did you get? Because he got a lot more work obviously than Salgado needed in the first week.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something that's going to continue to play out over time as we watch it. And so I don't know that decision's been made yet. We're going to see how practice goes.
Jason and Justin.
Was, without throwing anyone into the bus or anything like that, but was Saturday a good indication of just kind of how undervalued Josh Baker might be, just the way the offensive line ran things and his work overall?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone on our football team undervalues Josh Baker. He's an excellent player and an excellent leader. He's a team captain. He's awesome. So no one around here undervalues him. We know exactly how special he is and how important he is to our football team.
Justin and Damian in the back. 2-part question.
Here we go. 10-part question. Okay, number 5.
Regarding Jacory, you said it was a concern about his eligibility. What is the concern?
We're still trying to find out exactly what went on. So it was raised by our compliance, and we're working through it.
And then second part, third down conversions over 10.
Yep.
What did you see in that department? How do you guys get better?
Well, I think it's a couple things. I think it was, a couple missed throws, missed opportunities. That part of it was really, really frustrating. And, sometimes when you're in those situations, you kind of try and press, and we just got to relax and let the game come to us and execute the details of our assignment, and we'll have higher level execution.
Damian and Michael.
Brent, how are you addressing the issue of penalties?
Well, it's just something we talk about. I think that, I spoke on Saturday night, a week ago, my concern was what I considered, self-imposed, negatives, right? The after the whistle nonsense that can really, really hurt you. Some of the other penalties that happen when you're playing football, we're not coaching holding or whatever, that to me, I tend to focus more on the controllable, right? And so, that conversation has been ongoing. It was ongoing really, really aggressively last week with just the stuff that happened kind of after the whistle. It's all the stuff that's either after the whistle or before the whistle that really, really gets me fired up, right? So offside, false start, and then any nonsense after the whistle, whatever that is.
Michael, then Jason.
The announcers on ESPN Plus were making some comments about T-Mac's body language during the game, maybe implying that he was, a little unhappy that he wasn't getting the ball as much as the previous week. Did you notice that at all? Is that something that you detected or heard about?
No, I actually thought T-Mac was handling it pretty well. I think everybody was frustrated for stretches in that game. And I think it's important for every player on our team, but more importantly for the leaders to understand that their body language has influence. And guys feed off of that, whether it's positive or negative. And so, again, that's something that's in our control and something that we coach really hard, and we want guys to respond the right way to.
Jason in the back, and then Brian.
My question was Gordon, that was being asked.
Okay, Brian.
Where do you stand when it comes to kickoff returns? Is that something that you leave to the return man when it's like a ball that's in the end zone, whether to kick out, or do you have a kind of a hard and fast rule?
No, that depends week to week. There's games where we're going to be really aggressive that way, and then there's games where we'll make a determination whether or not we want to bring those out. So it just depends on, there's lots of factors: who we're playing, where we're playing, what kind of kickoff guy they got, what kind of kickoff team they have. There's a bunch of components that go into those decisions, and they're game by game.
Justin and Michael.
Do you have any history with Kansas State or Chris Kleiman or anybody over there?
I don't really. I think Coach Kleiman is a fantastic football coach. I think those guys have done a really nice job everywhere they've been. Obviously the results speak for themselves, and when you turn on the tape, I think it's really impressive how they play in all three phases. The only time I've been out there was, I think, when I was an assistant with Coach Tomey at San Jose. I believe we went out there in 2007, and we're still trying to tackle Jordy Nelson. So that's all I remember.
Michael and Jason.
How much freedom does Noah have at the line of scrimmage to change a play?
He has. Sometimes there's stuff that we double call, but then also that sometimes there's stuff that it would probably be more protection, stuff like that.
Did he do any of that in this game?
He does it every game.
He does it every game.
Yeah.
Jason and David.
Different players, but in a way, does what you saw from Jean-Pierre in New Mexico prepare you for what you could see with Avery in terms of running and things like that?
Yeah, I think I think the difference is that I think Avery's more of a complete player. He's got real arm talent, and then he's faster. Like, he's ridiculously explosive.
David, Brent.
Brent, the exuberance you showed singing "Bear Down" with the team after the ball game, obviously a tough victory, maybe not the point spread victory that most people thought it would be, but what were you feeling in that moment that made you so exuberant about that win afterward?
For me, I'm not going to let anything on the outside take away from the joy of winning. And those moments are special, and they need to be celebrated and enjoyed by everybody. We can fix the stuff we need to fix later, but in that moment with the team in the locker room, there's nothing like a locker room after a win. It's a really, really special place. And so we're going to enjoy the hell out of those when they happen.
Any more questions for Coach? Justin, and then Jenna.
Just looking at your players this week, how excited are they to have this challenge facing the ranked team?
I think they're fired up. We just had a great practice, and I'm really excited about that. I think that's a good indication of kind of where they're at in their mindset in terms of attacking the practice environment. So we got off to a good start today. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do because of the short week. It's heavy, game plan conversations and some long days. But that's the nature of this time of year, especially on a short week. So, but the players are fired up, and I think everyone's excited, and I'm sure Kansas State is too.
We'll go Michael next.
Jeremiah Patterson had a really nice return. He also had a touchdown where he broke some tackles. What have you seen from him in terms of his development since he's gotten there?
I'm really encouraged by him. I think he's going to be a really good player for us, and I think he's just going to get better the more he plays. His kind of the way he approaches practice and workouts, he's definitely dead serious about his process and improving every day. He was raised by good people at the College of San Mateo. Like, those guys do a great job, and just having watched, we've been watching Jeremiah since he was in high school, because he was right down the street from us, and so it's awesome to see him doing the things he's doing, and I'm excited for his future here. I really am.
Justin?
Two-part question again.
Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Going back to Kansas State and the history, Bill Snyder, obviously a big name.
Legend.
How do you look at how he was able to build up Kansas State football?
Oh, I think it's incredible. I mean, he was a guy that I was really interested in. I read his book when I took over at San Jose, just because, the histories weren't the same, but they were similar. And I was so impressed with what Coach Snyder did there over, he was there for so long, and then he stepped down and then came back and, kicked butt again. The guy's amazing. So obviously one of the best coaches of our generation for sure.
And then what do you think about the new helmets?
Oh, I think they're cool. I think anything that the players get excited about is good. I love it. I think that's fun. I think that's part of college football now. Some people may or may not agree with it. But for me, it's about the players.
Last question to Michael.
What stood out to you the most about the defense's performance on Saturday?
I thought the defense was outstanding. I was really, really excited I thought we did a great job getting population at the football, and there's just some really, really good effort. Pictures on that video of just a lot of red jerseys in the frame. So I was really, really excited about that. I thought the D-line did an outstanding job, and obviously that helped. Linebackers had put up some big numbers in terms of their tackles, but I thought Trayton Stukes was brilliant. So I was really excited about that, and it was exciting to see them to respond, because I know they were frustrated the week before, right? So it was great to see them respond.
All right, that's our time.
Thank you all.